This demonstration will take you through collecting data from an event stream, such as a Rapid7 or a CrowdStrike, as it finds new CVEs on uh, particular devices that it's done through scanning. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new incident in SMAX. And this idea is it's actually coming from a Rapid7 directly into a service management tool, our SMAX tool. And we're going to assume that there is certain types of data that will come in through doing that. So there will likely be a title. And then you can see here, we've got a piece of text here, and that happens to be a configuration item in our CMDB. Now we'll also probably get a description through directly from a Rapid7 or a CrowdStrike. So let's just paste that in. So one of the key things that's happened here is that there is a particular piece of text that came in from the Rapid7 in this case, which happens to also be a configuration item in the CMDB. So brackets, demo brackets, SER123 MS001 is a CI, a configuration item in the CMDB that has hopefully also been discovered using our universal discovery capability. It's the name of a server in this case, or we'd call it a device. So it could be a network device, it could be a desktop, a laptop, a server, anything in the cloud. We can actually pull in that kind of CI information. And it's given us a bit of a description that might have come across from Rapid7 as to what's actually going on. So from this information that we've got here, in order to actually finish off creating the incident, and we could pre-program that in the interface that comes through from Rapid7, but there are certain things I need to put into place. One of which is I have to define what the service is that this particular incident is actually going on for. If I click on service here, you'll notice that there are lots and lots of different services that this could be. And I've got customers that have got thousands of services, both internal and business, sort of external. But what we've been able to do is actually extract the data that's in the description and utilize machine learning to say, well, where have we seen this before? And it then brings us to the fact that there is suggested value to put into the service of the Exchange service. So I'm actually going to choose that. So that's something that's done over a period of time through learning. I can actually put in some other things like the incident model. So the incident model is something you would actually set up and say, well, I've got some important kinds of services that I want to actually manage here, like in this case, an Exchange system. And if you look on the left-hand side, as I actually click on this, it's actually going to preset some particular values. It's also going to set up particular tasks for how to actually deal with this incident. But as I put that in, it's said it's going to go to the email and webmail group. It's currently with the service desk and analysts. And it's also said that the impact is for multiple users. So we could create a security model, for example, to how to deal with these kind of things, or a security template in some cases. They affect the incident ticket in slightly different ways, but there are different ways of actually getting through this creation of an incident extremely quickly. I'm going to save that data away. So now we are looking at the full extent of the incident ticket. So we've got everything we need to know here. We've got who's actually reported the ticket. We've got a priority. In this case, it's a medium priority. And we could say change the urgency to say, well, actually, it's more severe than this. We could change the number of users that are affected. Is it affecting the enterprise? Well, let's say it's affecting the enterprise. Now you see it's automatically calculated a new priority and said this is a high priority issue that needs to be sorted out. Again, some of these items could be preset through templates and models. I'm just showing you the kind of options in the system. We've got the detail about who it's actually assigned to, and obviously the key things that we're trying to get to is a resolution, because incidents we want to get systems up and running again as quickly as possible. Once we've actually had multiple incidents that keep reoccurring, then we'd start to look at it as a problem ticket and eventually do a change, either an emergency change or a standard change. But we want to get to a resolution on this specific ticket. If it's a major incident, we could actually add in people here that would actually be involved in a major incident team. So Here, we're actually building out details about how to actually manage this ticket. Again, this is all about how rapidly we can actually do this. Now then, I also need to categorize this incident. So I'm going to categorize it in this case because of what we've been talking about, the fact that it's coming from, oops, I would help. There we go. The fact that it is a security event that's actually coming through. So I'm actually going to set that. So now we've got the categorization of this item. Notice again that out of all the different things, it did actually put it in as a suggested value in there. So it's a security event that's come through. Now, if I save that detail, okay, so I'm now able to move on and actually start working through what we call the workflow. We're now into initial support. So we're actually going to work on this as a ticket and actually look at how we remediate it and actually put the remediation path into the ticket. What I've also got down here, though, is a concept called related records and the involved CIs. So in particular, I'm going to look at the involved CIs. And we have the detail about that specific server that was in the CI detection in the description earlier. I'm going to click through on this item here. Now we're looking in particular at what we call service, asset, and configuration management. We're looking at the specific device that's related to that incident ticket that came through. And if you'll notice here, I've got details about the fact that we have the owner and her location and contact details. We have the host name that came in. We understand now that it's in a production system as opposed to a test or staging. We have the location of the actual item. Again, whether it's in cloud, whether it's a virtual device, those kind of things could also be catered for. Because this is a physical machine, I've actually got the details about the rack positioning, where that rack is, and the rack will have a location likewise. And we can say, is it a device at the front or the rear, which rack unit position it's in. We've got details about its asset tag. I've also got details here about the server maintenance agreement that is applied to this specific device. So now we've gone from having a CVE on a device that Rapid7 will know just about the CVE that's actually on it because of the scanning. But now we've linked directly through to who the owner is, which service it's actually a component of, and if we've got related contracts assigned to it. So further than actually looking at the device itself, I can actually start to see what else is related to this, and I've got related CIs here. We're now actually looking at the service topology. So we have a server. It happens to be connected to a database and an Exchange server software. If I click on the database, I can actually see further information. So this database happens to be running on 8 separate servers. And whether they're in a database cluster or something like that, we just don't have that detail in this particular demo data that we've got. But you can see that that database is running across 8 servers. If we lose one, it's maybe not going to be such an impact. Okay. Now I can also look at this Exchange backend system and ask it what the related configurations are. So you'll see that this Exchange backend is supporting an Exchange service. And if I then click on that, I'll see in here that that Exchange service is also supporting 2 SharePoint systems, one for sales and one for R&D. So now I've got a topological view of everything to do with this particular server that was on the right-hand side, the fact that it was running a database, the fact that it's one of 8 systems that are running Exchange systems, Exchange services, and eventually SharePoint. If I click on the database here and say, well, tell me the impact if this database actually has a problem, I can run the impact analysis. And it says, if this database has an issue, these are the items with the little red marks on it that could potentially also be affected. So we could potentially affect the Exchange service and the Exchange backend. Again, this all comes from having built out a service topology within the CMDB, which is then related into the incident management side of the world, which is what we're looking at now. So we're in an incident view. We're looking at the device that's linked to that incident. but we're now looking at the topology of how everything actually links together. So a great way to actually understand the criticality of a CVE in terms of the bigger picture of what's actually going on around your business services. Okay, thank you for your time.